Hiya tens. Here is a quick revision video made up of those of you that did your homework. So first of all, we have Alicia's trig and Pythagoras. Here we can see her example of Pythagoras, and here are her trig examples. So pause the video, make notes, have a look at anything you're not sure of. We have the histograms, which was kindly given to us from Psi, showing us how to calculate frequency density. Remember, we never plot the frequency, only the frequency density. Simple interest, which was typed up by Tusnim. Remember, simple interest is where we work out the interest and we simply multiply it by the number of years that the interest is being added for. So we work out the interest once and then look at how many years we need it for. Fractions was done by Sasha, and we can see that in order to add or subtract fractions, we need the same denominators. And he's given you a little explanation here about how to find those denominators. Finding the area and perimeter of a shaded part of a circle by Zobia. Very clear explanations here, and we can see that she's clearly shown us the amount of the circle she needs at each point, and she's given us the formulas that we need for our calculations. Equation of a straight line was given to us by Katerina. Remember this rise over run, okay? Very important when you're trying to find the equation of a straight line, the rise divided by the run, how much it changes on the y-axis divided by how much it changes on the x. Solving inequalities by Anand. He's got some very key points over here about what happens when you divide by a negative. You'll see that the sign changes direction, okay? Or you could just look at it as putting this over here and this over here, in which case your y will be on the greater than side as it is here, okay? Remember, you solve them just like an equation, but you must have this inequality sign, not an equal sign, when you give your final answer. Finding the mean when a number is missing was given to us by Ethan. Not the greatest working out here. It's pretty messy. You can see that he started to subtract one number at a time here. But what we actually should have done was just simplify this, added all these numbers together, and then taken them away straight away. Okay? But nonetheless, he has arrived at the correct answer. Okay, drawing a graph. Now, this was done by Fatur, and the only bit that Fatur missed out was what to do when you need to draw a tangent to that graph and find the equation of the tangent. Remember, a tangent should touch your curve only once. So if I was going to draw a tangent to this graph at the point where x equals 1, it should touch my curve once, where x equals 1. If I drew my tangent here, it wouldn't be correct. So I would need to rotate this so that it only touches once. You're then going to look at the rise over run to get the equation of the tangent. Solving equations is a bit blurry, but it is here. Make sure you have a pause. You will always get questions on solving equations, so it's important that you remember how to do them. Okay? This was done by Karia, so it's very neat, but it is a bit blurry. Next time, Karia, try and make sure you focus the picture. Shading inequalities by James. Very clear descriptions here, so make sure you pause this and have a read of what he's written down about the unwanted regions, okay? Make sure you're clear about, are we shading the regions we want or don't want, and you'll notice that he's even given you clues about why some lines are dotted and some are solid. And finally, Pat woke up and handed in proportion, or fish, as lots of you like to call it. So He's done an example for direct and inverse proportion. Make sure you have a look over this, especially you, Zobia, who likes to remind us that you weren't here when we did this in class. So we have direct proportion, an example here, and inverse proportion.